People are buying $3,000 school buses and turning them into homes worth $50,000 or more. This is not just a lifestyle trend, it has become an actual business model. Today I am breaking down the real numbers, what it costs, what it sells for, and why this market exploded. This emerging market is built on a simple convergence of low-cost supply and highly visible demand. On the supply side, school districts and municipalities constantly retire aging fleets, turning to platforms like GovDeals and Public Surplus to clear out as-is surplus inventory. For buyers, these auctions offer raw buses, often starting under $4,000. On the demand side, rising housing costs have pushed alternative living from a voluntary lifestyle choice into a practical financial necessity. When these cheap industrial assets are displayed across social media, they become highly aspirational products that viewers want to copy. What began as a niche DIY movement has structured itself into a recognizable business category with dedicated builders, sellers, and established pricing power. Before examining the line item expenses, note that all figures in this breakdown are general estimates compiled from public records and active builds. Local material costs and regulations vary, so verify your local market conditions before starting a project. An auction bid of $3,000 secures the vehicle, but this purchase is only the starting point for a highly labor-intensive demolition project. Converting this heavy steel shell requires immediate capital. Stripping out dozens of commercial-grade passenger seats, rubber flooring, and rusted metal wall panels is the first major expense, often requiring specialized safety gear and waste disposal fees that run several $100s. Next comes structural prep. To turn a school bus into a thermal barrier, builders spend between $1,200 and $2,500 on high-grade insulation like spray foam or Thinsulate. Then there is the hidden tax of the DIY model, tools. Outfitting a workshop with metal-cutting saws, grinders, and heavy-duty paint sprayers easily adds $4,000 to $6,000 in capital expenditures before any interior finishing begins. Experienced builders factor in a 12% contingency buffer on this initial phase alone, knowing that hidden frame rust or engine damage can instantly drain an unprepared budget. Installing the technical infrastructure represents the next major capital drain. A functional off-grid power setup, including lithium battery banks, charge controllers, and solar panels, ranges from $5,000 to $9,000. Freshwater and gray water plumbing systems typically add $1,500 to $4,000. Inside, custom framing, cabinetry, and specialized 12-volt appliances turn design choices into heavy financial liabilities. While amateur builders can handle basic carpentry, specialized systems like electrical certification or pressurized gas lines often require paid professionals to meet safety standards. Final receipts for completed projects climb rapidly. Publicly documented builds show total expenses settling in the low to mid tens of thousands. For example, a verified 2006 international school bus conversion ended at $31,000, while a fully equipped 1975 passenger bus build reached $38,000. These real-world receipts prove that finishing a habitable vehicle demands significant capital, steadily compressing potential profit margins before the asset ever reaches the market. Completed conversions command prices far higher than raw industrial chassis because buyers pay a premium for convenience, custom design, and immediate readiness. On secondary marketplaces like Schoolie Livin' and regional classifieds, finished builds regularly list between $40,000 and $80,000. Public transaction archives show a converted 2010 International selling for $49,000, while a highly finished 2002 Bluebird in North Carolina reached $65,000. Conversely, partially completed projects often list at a steep discount, failing to recoup even the basic cost of raw materials. For an independent builder, these transactions suggest a highly profitable arbitrage. If a donor vehicle costs $6,000 and construction materials run $25,000, a $60,000 sale leaves an apparent gross spread of $29,000. However, this gross upside does not translate directly to cash profit. A realistic margin analysis must account for transport expenses, platform listing fees, transaction taxes, insurance overhead, and the hundreds of hours of manual labor required to finish the vehicle. When these operational expenses are deducted, the true net return compresses significantly. These calculations, compiled from public builds, serve as general estimates rather than direct financial advice, and actual costs depend heavily on regional market conditions. Ultimately, the builder faces a strategic choice between two distinct commercial paths: securing a quick return through a one-time asset flip, or holding the completed vehicle to pursue a longer yield operational model. To analyze the real economics of unconventional industries, subscribe to the channel. Retaining a finished conversion to generate recurring rental yield transforms the vehicle from a physical product into an active hospitality business. On platforms like Airbnb, schoolie listings attract guests looking for novelty stays, but operating these mobile structures carries real occupancy risk. While top-performing listings in prime tourist markets can command nightly rates between $100 and $200, actual profitability depends heavily on utilization. National short-term rental data shows average occupancy rates hovering between 50 and 56%. For an owner, a strong top-line booking figure rarely equates to a dependable margin. The ongoing expense stack quickly erodes gross earnings. Platform fees take an immediate bite, while professional cleaning, specialized commercial RV insurance costing up to $3,000 annually, and continuous wear and tear maintenance eat into cash flow. Land hosting fees or utility hookups add further fixed overhead. The financial viability of this model depends on constant utilization. If occupancy softens from 55% down to 40%, a property generating $20,000 in gross revenue can see its net margin completely erased. Unlike a fixed real estate asset, an aging bus chassis continues to depreciate and requires mechanical upkeep even when stationary. Owners must treat short-term rentals as an active operational business rather than a passive source of income, where small changes in nightly pricing or a sudden maintenance event can instantly push the break-even point out of reach. Some builders bypass the rental model entirely, choosing instead to treat schoolie conversions as repeatable small business inventory. Rather than completing a single personal project, these operators run a systematic production line, sourcing multiple cheap donor chassis and packaging their labor, design, and time into a finished, ready-to-move-in product. Sourcing consistency and labor cadence limit this model. Because a single build can still take 3 to 6 months, scaling beyond a few units per year requires significant workshop space and hired trades. This turns a simple DIY hustle into a high-overhead manufacturing operation. Systematic builders often deploy a parallel revenue asset alongside physical construction, media distribution. Documenting the step-by-step assembly of a schoolie turns the dirty work of demolition and framing into monetizable digital media. This layer of attention generates cash flow long before the vehicle ever hits the marketplace. Through platform advertising revenue, tool affiliate codes, and brand sponsorships, builders offset a portion of their raw material expenses while the bus is still in the shop. This media footprint acts as an organic marketing machine, expanding exposure and attracting buyers willing to pay a premium for a highly documented asset. But this financial model remains fragile. vulnerable to a cascade of immediate failures. Unseen frame rust or a sudden engine rebuild can demand $10,000 in repairs, instantly erasing any projected paper profit. Alongside mechanical issues, builders face severe administrative roadblocks, denied registrations, strict local zoning bans, and specialized insurance premiums of up to $3,000 annually can stall a project indefinitely. When seasonal vacancy and market saturation are factored in, these mobile assets quickly turn into depreciating liabilities. This reality raises a fundamental question. Is the true business here actually building the bus, or is it simply capturing the audience's attention? To analyze the economics of these trends, subscribe. Ultimately, bus conversions are no longer just do-it-yourself projects. They are highly monetized business assets. These public estimates are not financial advice, so research current costs before investing. Whether building or creating content, the real profit lies in execution. Subscribe for more deep dives.